Hey, what's up guys? It's Ben 2000 Yugioh, your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and today guys, we're going to talk new cards. Stick around. So today's video is going to be on the topic of new cards that are coming out in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh that I'm personally excited for. So there's going to be some. I know some other YouTubers have already covered this stuff, but I personally just wanted to take my own whack at it and see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, so the first card we've got comes from the. It's basically like number 98 or something like that. It's like the opposite to Dragulon, but this is the rank 8 Dark Xyz monster I'm excited for. I think this is going to be awesome Blue Eye support in the future, so this is the first card we're going to be discussing. Its effect is that it requires it's an Xyz monster, level 8, requires 2 level 8 monsters, obviously, like all Xyz monsters. First effect is, it can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. That's already a win. I'm already like, yes, 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 yes. So I'm already yes for that. Number 2 is, you can attach 1 Xyz material from this card. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. Also take 2 number dragon monsters from your extra deck and or graveyard, except 97, and special summon 1 of them. And if you do, attach the other to it as material. Also, monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn, except special summon monsters. Yeah, that's pretty useful. You basically get to add a card as material. You get to bring back a, maybe bring back a dragon, which maybe if you're playing in this Link format, maybe you already have a Link monster out, then you play this, and you bring that, and oh look, Dark Matter. You know what I mean? So Blue Eyes are going to abuse the crap out of this, I can already tell. Plus, that bit of that first effect of not being able to be targeted is actually more useful than a lot of people want to give it credit for. There's a reason why Yazi, Evil of the Yang Zing, has actually been an off and on card that's been seeing competitive play for, years. Alright, so the next card is going to be the new hero monster. Hold on one second, guys. There we go. Technical difficulties. Alright, so this is the new Vision Hero monster. I didn't bother to go look his name because I'm sure it's going to change before it gets here in the TCG, but here's his effect. He's got 3 effects, and I believe he can only use, I think he can use each of them once per turn, but we'll see. The first one is, if you take any damage and this card is in your graveyard, you get to place it in the spell and trap card zone as a trap card, and that's as a continuous trap card, so that's kind of cool. Then during either player's turn, while that card is a trap card, you get to tribute another hero monster, and then you can special summon it from the spell and trap card zone. And then, if he is special summoned from the spell and trap card zone, you get to special summon another Vision Hero from your deck. So, oh look, Vion, send, Shadow Mist, oh, get another Search. So he's kind of a... It's going to be a combo piece, is what I'm getting at, but I think I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna go check Yugioh Pro, because as of making this video, I don't think they've updated yet to have this card. But as soon as they do, I'm definitely going to experiment with it. The next one is a newer archetype. It is I'll have to use my cheat sheet over here. They're called the Taiwan. What is it called? They're called the Tianwei archetype. They're a martial arts style, like spirit dragon archetype. So let's go ahead and get started into that. First thing you should know is they all have the ability. All the main monsters in this deck have the same ability. If you control no effect monsters, you can special summon this card, and then each one has their own individual ability. So the Earth one is level 1. If you control a non-effect monster, you get to banish this card from your hand or graveyard, and target one of your banished worm monsters, except this card, and add it to your hand. It's okay. Number 2, the water one. If a non-effect monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. Then target one of those destroyed monsters and special summon it. Then you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. So basically, it's kind of like a Monster Reborn or a Rope of Life-esque card for your non-effect monsters, which you're going to see why this is very important later here. Then we got the Wind one. Its secondary ability is, when an attack is declared involving your non-effect monster and your opponent's face-up monster, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. That opponent's monster loses 1500 attack until the end of this turn. Oh, okay, so they kind of got a reverse honest. That's going to be useful. And like I said, if you control no effect monsters, you guys get to summon these guys for free. So you're like, oh, I don't have any monsters. Essentially, they're all Cyber Dragon. But if you can play monsters that are non-effect monsters, then, oh, look, they're just free summons. Just wanted to reiterate that. The Fire one. That one's going to be my favorite. Just kidding. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets a non-effect monster you control, you banish this card from your hand or graveyard, negate the activation. Excuse me. Huh. And if you do, destroy that card. So, this card's the hand. The Fire one is going to be my favorite. It's a hand trap. It's like, go ahead, target my monster. Go ahead, do it. Do it! That card's going to see play in more than just this deck, mark my words. Okay, next one is the Dark one. They have a level 7 one. This is the one that I think this is going to get seen more play than the rest of them. Obviously, he has the same first effect as the other ones. If you control no effect monsters, you can summon him for free from your hand. So the Cyber Dragon-esque ability. If you control a non-effect monster, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard, target one card your opponent controls, and return it to the hand. So basically, in the graveyard, he's like, oh yeah, time compulse. Goodbye. That won't get abused by a certain normal deck that I have hinted on the screen. That's why you see the Dark Magician there, because I think that this is a card that you could probably see in something like that, because, yeah. They all have the ability to summon themselves if you don't control an effect monster, or if you don't control any monsters at all. So if you don't control any monsters, free summon. They're all Photon Thrasher at that point. And then if you control a monster that is not a non-effect monster, like say a Link monster or a Synchro monster or an Xyz monster without an effect, yes, they exist. Gem Knight Pearl, the Gaia Knight cards for Synchro and Xyz. They don't have effects. They're non-effect monsters. There's a crap ton of fusions that aren't either, so voila. So this guy's just a free summon if you want to play that, and then of course, like I said, he's level 7. You're going to see him in a deck that can play rank 7s. You're just going to see it. Now, the next one that we're going to talk about is their field spell, and it is absolutely busted, guys. I'm not even kidding. It's one of the most busted cards I've ever seen. Oh, wait, no. We're not there yet. My bad, guys. I fucked up. Alright, so this is the linchpin of we're gonna get to the Link monsters first, but hang on to that field spell comment, because that's gonna be important later. But the Link monsters, like 2 out of 3 of the Link monsters are non-effect Link monsters. And they're pretty much generic, I'm pretty sure. Okay, he needs a Taiwanese monster. Okay, but he's going to be played in his own archetype who favors non-effect monsters. Pretty busted. Plus all of these dragons are essentially like hand traps, essentially, for this deck. Or graveyard traps, which is equally just as good. Alright, the Link 2, it does have an effect, so here it is. It's a Link 2, Fire, Worm, etc. They're all worm type, in case you're wondering. They're all trapped. They might have different attributes, but they're all trapped to one type. It needs worm monsters specifically. Ooh, that means we're going to see, you could play there's a normal monster that's dark or whatever, that's a worm. 2000 attack. You're going to see that played in here if you're playing the pure variant. Because I'm sure somebody will mix this with something, like I just talked about mixing it with Dark Magician. Alright, so its first effect is you can discard one card, then target a worm monster in your graveyard and special summon it. But for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate effects of monsters special summoned from the extra deck, other than Taiwanese monsters. And I'm probably butchering that name, so I'm hoping the TCG makes it easier to say. So yeah, so this thing is like, oh yeah, you get a worm monster for free, but you can't special on anything but within the archetype. Okay, that's not unusual. We've seen this before in other archetypes. When an attack is declared involving your non-effect monster, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Okay, so if an attack is declared, so they basically have an Ebon Illusion Magician like effect. Only, excuse me, instead of the banishing, it's destroying it. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't think that's gonna see a whole lot of. I mean, that's meh, but you know, it is what it is. And the last one is, I mean, he's just their 3 link worm monsters, but he's a non-effect one, but he's big. He's got 3,000 attack, and you can link climb into him. You just need worm type monsters, I believe, to get to him. So, or he might be generic. I'm not sure. Nope, 2+ monsters. Okay, so he's generic as hell. So he's just a bigger guy of the lightning saber, essentially. But I mean, he'll see play, I'm sure, especially in this deck because 3,000 beater, and they kind of need monsters that don't have effects. So this guy, there you go. Now this is the linchpin of this archetype. This is the card that's going to make it busted. I mentioned that the field spell was crazy. Here it is. All right, so while they have their field spell out, non-effect monsters, like their link monsters, or normal monsters if you play them in this deck, are unaffected by monster effects. Are we sure that Konami isn't secretly watching me? Because remember I mentioned that normal monsters need some kind of link thing? This is pretty close to what I was getting at. Oh, Snapple. I'm like, they can't watch Yugi No. Now they're after the... They can't watch Yugi No, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Jesus, so now they're going to watch Bente 1000, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. I'm the next best thing. All jokes aside, this next effect is the best one, and it's if your opponent special summons an effect monster, you get to draw 2 cards. That's like 90% of everything that's played in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is an effect monster. So it's like, oh look, I draw 2 cards. Oh look, you summon more. Okay, I'll draw more cards. Okay, I'll draw more cards. Like, come on, you go against like. Think about any modern deck that you'd play against. I mean, that even Thunder Dragons, all the danger stuff. There you go. This is their anti-danger stuff right here. Go ahead. Summon your dangers. Do it. I'll deliberately try to miss, so you have to summon it. Draw. Man, people are gonna splash a mountain of hand traps in this deck, and this thing will be busted. Mark my words. Just off of that field spell. Next one that we have here is another spell. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's like the Hollow Circle. Okay, they're going to call it the Hollow Circle of Dragons. Okay, I like that. That's a lot easier to say. I read that Ryuin or whatever, and I was like, nope, Alright, so its effect is you can only activate this card with this name once per turn. Okay, it's a hard once per turn. Send 1 worm monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if you control a non-effect monster, you can add 1 Taiwanese monster from your deck to your hand with a different name from the sent monster in your graveyard. Wow! Wow, that's a Rhoda and a Foolish Burial in 1 card, guys, for this archetype. That is busted. And these guys have graveyard effects too? Wow! Wow! This archetype's going to be expensive, I can already tell you that. I'm going to be like, yeah, there's no way that an archetype with this many good shit in it is going to be... It's not broken. I don't think anything's broken outside that field spell, but this is... Alright, the next one is their trap card. Ooh, they got a counter trap. And this one is when a monster effect or spell trap card is activated and you control a non-effect monster, negate the activation. Oh, okay. It doesn't say destroy it, but it's a negator, so that's good. And then the other one is if this set card you control is destroyed by opponent's card effect, special summon 1 non-effect monster from your extra deck. Wow! They just gave this thing, what is that trap card? Waking the Dragons effect? And it's a solemn. Also, notice it says you have to control a non-effect monster. Can we name a few other archetypes that could abuse this counter trap? Just saying, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Phantasm Spirals. Damn! They just gave indirect support for any deck that plays normal monsters, basically, with this card. I'm telling you, this archetype is not only busted, it's going to be expensive. Wow.
Anyway, guys, I just got to say this. I'm floored. The Tianwei, Taiwanese. I don't know how you say that. I'm not even gonna bother to try to say that without, just sounding like I'm speaking gobbledygook, because I can't speak English and say that word. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'm from Texas. Forgive me. But this archetype looks amazing. It's a worm. Worms are like spirit dragons, so to speak, and it's an interesting archetype. I'm actually really interested in this one. I have a feeling though it's going to be one of those archetypes that's uber expensive. So that's the kind of sad part there. But some of those cards are busted, like that field spell being a. Go ahead. It's got a built-in maxi essentially. It's like I play my field spell. Oh, it protects my stuff from your crap, and then go ahead, summon everything. Oh, man. That's so busted. And then it's got a counter trap, and then its Rhoda is a foolish, and these guys have fucking graveyard effects, too? This deck is broken, guys. I'm telling you, it's fucking ridiculous. Oh, man, you normal. Make your link 1. Oh, look, I don't control the effects of the monster, so summon another one. Link up into the link 2. Oh my god. It's fucking busted. Oh man. Oh man. If this deck gets a Monster Reborn, mark my words, it will be tier 1. I'm just saying. Like, think about it. It's a solemn. It's searchable. I'm pretty sure that search thing, if I recall correctly, I think even that spell could even search... Oh, no, okay. I thought for a second the search spell could search their counter trap for a second. I was going to be like, damn! But oh, look, there you go. There's a card right there. You could just play the damn pendulum card or whatever. Be like, go ahead, kill me. I'll give him free shit. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you kind of like my goofy takes on new cards, and you like my antics, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you enjoy what I'm doing. If you have a suggestion for a future video, make sure you guys put that in the comments below. I would be greatly appreciative. Also, just a reminder, I am in a race with Yugioh Pro, and he is like, last I checked, he's still like ahead of me, guys. So let's bring in the subs. I need all the help I can get. I'm like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Give me your subscribers. I'm sure that's a direct quote. Anyway, guys. Make sure you hit that sub box, because I'm gonna need all the help I can get. And yeah, I'm Ben 10,000 Yugioh. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.